I've touched on tagging in one or two prior clips, but not really dealt with it in detail, and yet it's one of the most important things you can do when you're making cards to ensure you've got lots of flexibility down the track when you want to decide how to study your cards. Maybe it's because you're cramming for an exam, or because there's a particular topic that you want to focus on for your study. And so in this clip I'm going to show you how to tag, how to add tags across multiple cards, and also one or two tips on the sorts of tags that can be useful for selecting cards when you're coming to study for exams. So you can add a tag to a card either when you're making it, when you're going in the add screen, or afterwards when you're in the browser view. And so you can see I'm in the demo deck here, I'm looking at the histology cards, and there are two cards and both of them have tags against them. If I'm looking in the edit section of the window, right down at the bottom is where you can see the tag field. And so for this card I have three tags. I have one BO2, which relates to the section of the course that this card came from. I've got topic imaging, which relates to obviously the subject of the card, and also I've got a unique identifier here which relates to the lecture. So those tags enable me to select down cards by the section of the course they relate to, the topic, but also if I need to find cards for a specific lecture I can do that. So how do you add tags to multiple cards? I can select multiple cards here. I'm holding down the Shift key and selecting both, and simply go add tags from the menu along the top. Now you can either select from a list of tags that you've already created, as I have here. So for instance I could add the lab exam tag to this card, and go to these two cards actually, and go OK. Alternatively I could add tags to those cards that haven't previously been added against any tags. So I'll add tags again. I'm going to create a couple of new tags here. We'll call them X test and X test 2. Now you notice that what I'm doing here is just leaving a space between tags. That's all you leave between tags when you're adding them in Anki, whether you're doing it in the add new window or whether you're doing it for an existing card. Also, what this means is that if you want a tag containing multiple words, then you need to add a hyphen in between it. So let's say I wanted to add a tag that was X test 3, but I wanted the X and the test to be separated, and I go X test 3. You'll see that's what I've done for my topic tags, and if you're looking along the side here you see I've got tags for drugs, which are using the same sort of concept. So I can go OK and add those tags, and you'll see that it's then got the tags along the bottom here, 3 new tags that I've created. And if I scroll down and look at the left hand side, those tags will have been added to my selectors. So I can now select down cards by each of those tags. And if I want to, later I can create custom decks that contain cards only referred to by those tags. So some of the ones that I've created that are useful for me prior to exams is that I'll tag a card as being a draw type card if it's one that I know I'm expected to be able to draw in an exam. If it's got an equation in it that I know I'm going to need to study before an exam, then I'll tag it with key equations. As I'm going through, if I've got thousands of cards, which I do, but I know there are some ones in particular that I really want to see before I go into an exam, I'll tag them with key essential so that I can then select down only those cards when I'm tight for time and make sure that I study those in preference to any others.